Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering, Log, did you just one-shot the boss? Yes. Yes, I did. But to be more precise, it was actually a joint effort between 4 people. The technique itself is called Rend, and if you haven't been in the Skyblock community for long enough, this technique has existed for years. Except the one thing about this technique is that the admins absolutely hate it for good reasons. And unfortunately, because I'm releasing this video, I bet the admins are going to watch it and then release another quality of life update to ruin the video. But as I climb up the ranks and reach 5,000 runs, I'm forced to learn this technique and sink deeper into the bourgeoisie. Anyways, for those who aren't familiar with the tech behind Rend, let's... The Rend is an ultimate enchant for bows, which allows you to rip arrows shot into your enemies. Its damage is based on the last critical hit you made, so the more crit damage you deal with the last arrow hit, the better. It's also based on the amount of arrows you've landed on the target, meaning if you stack 5 Rend arrows, you would deal 125% of the damage of the last arrow hit.
That's quite big.
Previously, you could stack an infinite amount of arrows, which could lead to damage counts like this. Or more recently, you could have used the Soul's Rebound bow to do the same thing. And that bow is still disabled to this very day! Due to the nature of Rend, the admins are determined to nerf this enchant into the ground, or perhaps even rework it. And that's why I've been holding out on this video for so long. I thought that with all the recent updates Skyblock has been receiving, they would at least patch Rend by now. Nope. They didn't patch Rending and Kuudra, but they did get rid of every other one-shot method in the game. Enderman Slayer, patched. Blaze Slayer, patched. Marina's Underwear, patched. Well, I guess I don't need this anymore. Yeet! You'd think that with all these other patches, they may as well have patched Rend in the next month or so. But they didn't. And from experience, I can see why. If you had a look at the first clip, you may notice that I jumped off the platform to get closer to Kuudra. I did this because I wouldn't be able to Rend Kuudra otherwise. See, the one thing about the enchantment is that the admins forgot to list one crucial aspect of this weapon, and that's the range. At a certain point, you can't really activate the ability unless you're within 18 blocks of the center of the mob, and Kuudra is... bad. Besides the range, we also have to consider the 5-arrow stack limit, which means that in order to one-shot Kuudra, we need a lot of stats and gear to make this technique even feasible. That's why the Kuudra Gang Rend guide has a prerequisite for rending. But in order to get those stats, we need to go over what we already do.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
The duplex is a bow enchant which adds another arrow to a bow shot. It provides very consistent damage and is what 90% of Kuudra players use today. All you have to do with it is just shoot Kuudra with it. That's it. While I make it sound simple, there's actually a lot of setup required to make the boss fight quick and easy, which leads to the micromanagement hell of health, hotbar management, and positioning. In the middle of the supply run, you have to at least shoot Kuudra 5 times with a last breath bow. During the build and hits phase, you have to lower your HP to below 20% to activate the lifeline attribute, and right before the final boss phase, in the span of 5 seconds, you have to buff yourself enough so that Kuudra doesn't take 10 years to kill. But wait a minute. Let's slow down and see what I did there. After hitting skip as a stun, I immediately used my Ragnarok axe to give me strength. With the Chimera 5 enchant, as long as I switched to my Golden Dragon, I would be able to get 990 strength. Earlier I switched to my Reaper armor to activate the pet rule, but alongside that I'm also going to use the Reaper armor's ability to gain an extra 100 base weapon damage and 100 strength. Afterwards I switched to my main DPS armor set to prepare for the final boss fight. And as I TP into the lair, I mana drain with the Endstone sword, only for the server to die and have my friend drop his second tentacle die.
I think we technically
like
2 peeked him there, just... Tentacle die! No way!
You're lying.
Dang. Heck.
Bro.
Here's a comprehensive list of all the buffs that you can get. Most of you probably know where this is going, but for those who didn't, why do you think I mentioned all of this? Remember when I called Kuudra fat? I meant it. I mean, if you miss any of these buffs, you could say goodbye to the point of rending, or even say goodbye to your party, because if you miss any of these buffs, you will deal no damage. And in this instance, I reaped too early and somehow didn't mana drain before pulling. Unfortunately, that's the risk we take whenever we rend. The range essentially forces us to take damage, and missing at least one damage buff or more can make rending redundant. The risk is insane, and for some reason, this picture is starting to look more beautiful. But wait a minute, Log. You never told us how to rend. How do we actually do it? That's where all our imagination of this beautiful risk-reward clip comes crashing down. Earlier you saw me hitting a zombie with a boomerang, which on return deals double damage to any enemies hit by it. We can double this again if we use a sword swapping technique with the blade of the volcano. By throwing out the bone and then swapping to your blade of the volcano before it hits, you can quadruple your damage, only if they swim in lava. Now that's great and all, but if you have a tiny look at the blade of the volcano's lore, you might feel that an extra 100 strength doesn't make sense here, and that's because it doesn't. But this bug is crucial to Rending in Kuudra. Proof of this is the difference between the front and left peaks and the right and back peaks. For some reason, whenever Kuudra peaks in the front and left location, we're able to do double the damage while holding a blade of the volcano. Meanwhile, in the back and right locations, we don't do enough damage without it. This doesn't make sense at all. Because as far as I know, all four sides are covered in lava. Besides the blade of the volcano, there are other ways to increase your damage, such as swapping to your warden helmet after the backbone hits, and using the endstone sword for its intended purpose. Now if we perform all of these techniques together in one single blow. Much like many of our moms, Kuudra is so fat that she needs 3 or 4 people to one-shot her, and the only person I know with enough stats to one-shot Kuudra is Technoblade. Anyways, when we apply Rending in Kuudra, there are a few steps that we have to go over. 1, we have to apply rend arrows during stun and hits phase. 2, we have to juggle more items in our hotbar for the final fight. And 3, we have to perform the technique at the end as fast as possible. A lot of the damage is timing based, so if you're not pulling at least 60 mil, you're doing something wrong. Like reapering too early or not mana draining because this stupid menu blocks input for a second after it closes. Anyways, that's it folks. We know how to rend now, but I need this video to reach 8 minutes for ad revenue, so enjoy the 2 to 5k experience bloopers. No!
That's crazy.
This is the second time it has happened around me. Help! I can't move! Help! I can't move!
Unlucky, honestly. Unlucky, honestly.
Oh my god.
Surely I get God roll this run, right?
Yep. You got that.
You mustn't dare to dream big, bro. You're gonna get in Raider.
Oh, word.
Saw that.
Oh, you guys got that?
You do. Don't worry, we do.
You're doing a Reaper, that's fine.
Okay, that was... Yo, what happened? You got that, Bula.
Stop pulling, bro.
Oh, big damage. Did not see a pull.
Are you stupid?
Dang.
Run away from me, bro?
Oh, god roll!
Oh, yeah. We all have music room?
Oh my god, I got a dang. Lifeline MP terror.
What? What?
Back to back, baby!
Well, give me some. You're huge. You're so big. You're actually huge. You're bigger than Bowler. You're bigger than Future 77, bro.
Whoa, okay, alright, so.
Go! Go!
I have to get
No!
new
No!
Runs in.
He gets like an average of 300, I feel like, every day.
That's crazy.
Log! Log! What it said.
Oh.
Where did my bone go?
What?
Man, what a great time to play Kuudra. Let's go and see what's on Party Finder right now. Oh, I'm rich.